This next guy tells me that he feels like a grandpa here. And he's as racist as my grandpa. So yeah, big grandpa energy for Uncle Rocky, everybody!
Did you like my impression of Congress? I walked up here real fast to get into action. Hey, Drew, I can't believe you just stepped right up onto the stage. I need 2 steps, 3 steps, and a stool, and my cane to even get up here. Uh-oh. So, I've had 6 back surgeries over the last 10, 12 years. I'm fused from my cranium to my crack. But before each of these surgeries, I had to go for an MRI. So the first time I go for an MRI, they say don't open your eyes. So what did I do? I opened my eyes. I freaked out. I threw my arms up, I stopped the machine, I was screaming, my wife had to come in and get me. And they said, come back in a few days, we'll try again. I show up in a few days, they give me a little cup, a little pill cup. There's 8 pills in it. I said to them, what are these? They said they're 5 milligrams Xanax. There were 40 milligrams of Xanax. Little did I know, this is what I would be doing on a regular basis to get an MRI. I now take 30 milligrams of Valium. I eat 20 milligrams of THC chocolate. I take 4 Advil PM, and I smoke my pot vape all the way up there. By the time I walk into the imaging place, I'm like Keith Richards. I'm really just so stoned. But anyway, it gets me through the miserable MRIs. So in the hospital, I was in there for the better part of 5, 6 months. And literally every day they would walk in and prick a finger and take some blood, prick the other finger and take some blood. They would take in blood twice a day. Finally, I just said to them, I'm done with this. There's not going to be any more blood taking. They said, well, sir, we think your sugar may be high. I said, I have never been diabetic. I'm not even diabetic adjacent. I'm just fat for fuck's sake. So let's stop with the blood test. You know, at this point in my life now, I watch Instagram and I see all of these reels of people making great sandwiches and making these delicious meals. And what I realized is that these food reels are now my version of porn. I was watching the news the other day, and they were interviewing the world's oldest practicing physician. This guy's 103 years old. So the interviewer was asking him questions, and like most of us old people, we answer with the minimum amount of words possible. So he's answering 1 or 2 words. She said to him, so doctor, tell me, what's next for you? He looks at that guy and he goes, tomorrow. I did a lot of business travel, and it took me all over the world, and I ended up in Italy, and I have family in Italy, so I made arrangements to go visit the family. My wife was with me. So we go visit the family. They speak very little English. I speak very little Italian. So we're sitting and we're eating and we're drinking, and we're conversing as best as we could, and we're using Siri. So, somebody would say something into the phone, would translate it, they'd hand you the phone, and you would know what they're saying. Well, a distant cousin arrives late because he was working, and I see him, he's whispering into his phone, the phone's not responding. He whispers into the phone's not responding. Finally, he walks over to me and he goes, good Dino, my name is Mario, and I think I'm home from work. Welcome to Italy. Apparently, Siri doesn't speak Southern, it doesn't speak Brooklyn, and it certainly doesn't speak deaf. There's 3 very difficult things to quit in life. One is a cult. The second is a timeshare. And the third is a gym. So I called up to quit, and they said you have to come in. So I go in, and the guy says, well, let's go into the office, we'll sit down and talk. So he sits on one side of the desk, I sit on the other. The button on my shirt goes flying off, spins in midair in slow motion, lands on his desk. He looks at the button, he looks at me, he looks at the button, he looks at me, and he goes, do you want to sign up for the gold package now? All right, before I go, how do you like the shirt? I like pink butts and I cannot lie. Okay, that's my time, everyone. Thanks very much.